Master Teacher Virgo checking in. And what I'm going to do today is something I haven't done in a while, and that is a lesson. Today I'm going to be talking about lupus. So I have been hearing conversations about lupus and AIDS. So I have decided to not only tell the accepted or known facts, but also expand by coming to my own conclusion. So starting off, most intelligent people know that AIDS is an autoimmune disease, but far less know that lupus is also an autoimmune disease. So of course, as I started thinking about this, my first thoughts were AIDS, that people commonly refer to as the monster, are the sexually transmitted immunodeficiency, and lupus is the hereditary passed on from a family member and to a family member by way of birth transmitted immunodeficiency. Even though it's possible that a person with lupus may not give their child the syndrome. So my view is a person with lupus is a carrier of AIDS and does not pass it on by blood necessarily, but more by the sperm. I'm not saying that the sperm will always infect the next generation, but always has the potential to, as well as future generations. So with the monster AIDS, it's kind of flipped, where it's mainly, if not completely, passed on through blood contact. I state this to bring up the obvious fact that even though a person has sexually transmitted AIDS, they can have a child who doesn't even have what scientists consider the precursor known as HIV. Meaning the sperm of an infected person with AIDS, the sexual kind, can be unaffected even though the parent has what we consider bad blood. So in my opinion, a person with lupus has a higher chance of passing on lupus to their children than a person with sexual AIDS in the civilized countries passing on HIV to their children. Now, if you notice, I have been using the word sexually transmitted AIDS in an opposing aspect to lupus so not to lose people in the wordplay. But now I'm going to tell you they're both AIDS, which some of you may already know, or should I say classify as AIDS. But here's the kicker. Now we have scientific studies, genetic, clinical, and immunological, that say AIDS and lupus are the same disease, with only one difference, and that is AIDS virus stimulates cortisol production while the proposed SLE virus inhibits it, which stands for systemic lupus erythematosus. So the AIDS virus elevates cortisol levels or arouses them, while lupus restrains or prevents the natural process of cortisol. So basically, my conclusion is we have one disease under the banner of two names, which one, lupus, is a carrier of the disease that either has infected their future offspring or will infect their bloodline down the road at some point of time. And the other, called the AIDS virus, may or may not infect potential lovers while always having the possibility to infect if not controlled or monitored closely. My further conclusion is lupus, or a person with it, is just as dangerous as a person with the AIDS virus, if not worse. What we have here is two forms of the same AIDS, in my opinion. One with the ability to infect now or right away, aka the virus, and one that has the ability to infect as well as affect the host family's bloodline later. My advice is to avoid both situations. I want no parts of the noisy killer, AIDS, virus, or the silent killer, lupus, and this is MTV. Checking in, checking out. Peace.